Welcome back to another wrap up episode of Who Would Win Masters. Today we're breaking down the aftermath of our latest battle as two martial arts masters faced off. A fight of sword strikes and ramen whips, Uzis and Kukidan, Timberwolves, and pandas? We're revealing the official winner, replying to your comments that we've pulled straight from the Discord and anywhere else to see how you think this fight really played out. I am Sam Proof on all the socials, and when we asked you who would win in Snake Eyes versus Ranma Saotome, the episode didn't end with my decision, but went to the people at patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, where you voted in a poll to declare a winner. Our guest tonight, who represented Ranma, the one and only Robert Clark Chan, joins us yet again. Chan, welcome back. How's your week been?
What's going on, y'all?
It's Easter.
Um,
You wearing your
Yeah.
your stuff?
Look, my best Easter stuff is the same as my everyday stuff, which is the
Fantastic.
same as my wedding apparel, which
That's
is the
right.
same as what they're gonna bury me in.
All right. Before we get to it, do you have any predictions on the outcome of this episode?
Me? I predict that I will win. I
All right.
won before. In my heart, I won.
And that's
From
what,
everything that I've heard from people, they think I won, so I don't expect any upsets. Why? Are there some coming?
we'll see. We'll see if you get upset or not. All right. Back from his vacation at sea, the other wet noodle of this episode, it's Ray Stakenas. Ray, welcome back to land. How was your trip?
I spent 5 days on the high seas going down to Cabo, Mexico
Nice.
to visit a camel ranch.
Mm.
They wanted me to buy it. I don't know if I'm going to. I did enjoy the camels. They were very friendly, but I was horrified to find out that Robert Clark Chan, we had a challenge. There was a courier who met me with a napkin.
Yeah.
The whole thing was very crazy. So this last week, we delayed the wrap up for 1 week so that we could have a very special rematch battle on the feed. And if you haven't gone and listened to it, it's maybe the most dynamic, exciting, monumental, consequential battle we've ever done in Who Would Win Masters history, that being Black Panther versus Captain Carrot. I definitely
That's
encourage
fantastic.
everyone to go check it out if
Should-
you
yeah.
haven't if you haven't yet.
Was it one of those situations where a guy in a tux on the cruise brings out a phone line that's just like like a mile long phone, like in all those 60s and 70s movies, like that style? Is that what? Yeah.
I wish, I've seen The Love Boat before,
Yeah,
and
it's like
so
that.
I was honestly expecting something of that effect, but that is not how things actually work in the year 2026.
My
Probably for
understanding
the best.
is that on those boats they have like those Korean War radio operators. Someone runs in with a big old backpack and someone's got to crank it up, and then they pull off the handset for you.
No, that's accurate. Yes, that did happen to someone else. I didn't get that same treatment. It
Oh, you didn't
wasn't
get
up
the
to that
deluxe
level.
package. Yeah.
Right. You got you get what you pay for, Chan. You know
That's
this.
right. That is an upgrade. Yeah, it's not on the basic $500 ticket. Snurts, who is joining us live in the chat, says instant classic. And yeah, you could be joining us live in the chat as well if you are just a member of the Patreon. You don't even have to be a paid member. Look at that. Patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. Chan
That's
has
right.
stepped
All
away
free
to
and paid
make
members
his
get
green screen
access
better.
to almost all of the content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost all. There's some exclusive content.
There's an occasional post in there that we have for just the paid ones, but we keep those pretty low these days. We want to, and I'll be talking about this a little bit later. I've got a drive for both reviews and patrons on Patreon. I've got an offer to make if we get to a certain set of numbers.
Oh, I also
we'll talk
had
about that towards
Uh-oh.
the end of the episode. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think people would be on board for it. So I'm going to put it out there, and people at home who are not a member of the Patreon, free or paid, doesn't matter, and who have not given us our wonderful 5-star review that we're owed at this point, quite frankly.
Sure, that's fair.
I would like to see some of those as well. If you listen to the show and you haven't taken the step to do that, this is for you. I'll be talking to you directly at the end of the episode.
All right. Well, speaking about 5-star reviews, before we get into the final numbers on the vote, let's get into those 5-star reviews for this episode. I'll start us off. This comes to us from Mr. Squirrel 2099, who's titled this, "Help, I don't know who these people are." Shocking. Just shocking. I knew half the people going into this. He says,
Well, knowing is half the battle.
that is right. Having seen
No,
neither
it's knowing is half
the
the
podcast, that
Ray,
is
for
accurate. You
God's
should know your
sakes.
own
I'm
podcast.
never good at
10 years.
promoting
Get it
myself.
right.
Chan, do you need a new co-host over on that? Anyway, having seen neither G.I. Joe affiliated stuff or Ranma saotome, it really makes it interesting to hear about two characters that I might have to check out after this. Certainly do. In honor of the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer coming out, I would love to see a battle that he could actually win. I don't think I could name a single who would win battle where Spider-Man won. Love the show.
Maybe not.
Yeah. I'm going to finish reading, and then I have a comment on that. Hashtag more Sam's Decision song, please. Hashtag justice for Spidey. Hashtag email song is too long, but I don't want it gone. All right. So I saw this comment. I did some research because thanks to Lord Snert, we do actually have a spreadsheet that shows all of the past battles for years back on all iterations of the show. Spidey made it into 4 episodes from what I could see, and in fact did not win a single episode. However, there was a 5th episode featuring Spider-Gwen, and she won her battle. So
okay,
there is that.
We have that going for us.
There's
I said
that.
Miles
Yeah,
Morales has been on the show too, but I don't remember.
That's
if
true.
he
I
won.
did not search for him by name. I only searched for Spidey or Spider, I suppose, because I got Spider-Gwen as a result. Otherwise, I wouldn't have found it.
Although I think Miles Morales lost too. So
well,
Spider-Man has a rough go of it on the show.
He does. All right. Yeah.
Maybe he needed to be represented better. I don't know.
We'll have to see what we can do. Now, I was gonna put something out there for the Sam's Decision song, but Ray said he you know what he said about stuff just seconds ago, and I want to see what that is before I put out another possible milestone thing that we do. But we'll come back to that. Maybe I may have.
We'll come back to it at the end of the
more
show.
decision
I've
songs
got a place
for you.
in the running order for it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Very
move
much
on.
So. No, I'm going to read this next one here because we ended up with 5 reviews.
Nice.
It's been 3 weeks since we've had a wrap up, so that's pretty good. 5 reviews, I'll take it. Some are refreshed, but some are brand new.
Right.
This is one that's called Characters I Would Like on the Show.
Great.
From Max Della Vecchia. Max, thank you very much for your 5-star review. I deserve it. I love the show, and I would really like to see a character from Jujutsu Kaisen like Yuji or Gojo, and I would like him to see them go up against a video game character.
Okay.
Hashtag Sam's Decision song. Great review. You did it right.
All right. All right.
Did it
Anime
right. Let's
and
just,
video
me
game
and Sam
character
and
are
Chan,
the same thing.
I like that. Chan, we'll work into some of the comments here. We don't normally do that, but
No worries. I got distracted by looking at the spreadsheet. I don't think it's a spreadsheet that you have. I pulled up my old spreadsheet that apparently was last updated in 2022.
Oh boy.
I don't know if
stay
that's
on it.
accurate.
COVID's over.
absolutely
I'm
no
done.
reason I should stay on it.
I mean, to be fair enough. According to the chat, Snert says Miles Morales lost to Mega Man. I remembered that. That was the Shahs of Sunset guy, and and he won against Kylo Ren though. So somehow that's happened too.
Spider-Man versus Venom
That was a movie versions, yeah.
and Spider-Man 29 versus Driz Do'Urden. That's nuts.
Oh, Driz Do'Urden took that one out, yeah.
Spider-Man versus Astro Boy.
That's a rough loss. Astro Boy, as we know, is both depressing and powerful.
Yeah, but I learned that.
We learned that the hard way. Don't watch the Astro Boy Christmas episode, everybody, or do go to Knowing Is Half the Podcast and check out our from a couple Christmases ago. That was pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some more reviews. We got 3 more of these to get through, Chan. No memory lane time, although that's pretty much what the show is.
Come on. I'm here to hear the sound of my own voice. So the longer there is between those instances, the meaner I get.
Why can't I get that on Knowing Is Half the Podcast?
You could not handle that.
I probably couldn't. Sam, sorry, go ahead. Maybe.
Ah.
Sam appears to be frozen. Sam, are you with us?
Hey, I'm going to jump in here then. I see one. called The Best Podcast from Cloud 629.
Yeah, do it.
Arguably second, possibly third best podcast. Fourth, you know what? I'm not going to say that. That's rude. I've been listening for 3 to 4 years now, and this is a great listen. Ray is right. Sam is a great addition. Wishing the best. All incorrect.
It's a great review. What are you talking about? I like that review a lot. Cloud 629.
All right, it's okay. Since Sam has appeared to dip out real quick, I feel secure saying that talking crap about him.
No, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, I think maybe our wrap-up episodes are just cursed because Ali was trying to join the last one and he just could not get in despite trying really hard. And now Sam's having trouble. I don't know. We're cursed as an operation. Who knew? I'm going to read.
Trying to record Knowing's Half the Podcast, also cursed. So I'm starting to think that it's things that you were involved in, Ray.
Isn't it? Weird. I'm going to read the next review. It's called
Make that go away.
From Copyrighted Issue 2, a new patron, Copyrighted Issue 2. He says, why isn't there a wrap-up for Snake Eyes versus Ranma Saotome? Sir, you're on it. It's happening.
While you're doing that, I'm marking down the number of times you people mispronounce Ranma Saotome.
Saotome.
Currently at 2 out of 2, I believe, instances of the name being used. So not a great percentage.
It's going to be pretty rough, I think. Let's see what we got here. Sam Proof's going to go into echo cancel. Oh, can't be changed while recording.
Can't be done.
Well, we're just going to have to live with that.
We'll
It's
be all
got to
right.
be done before. We'll be fine.
Okay, where are we?
We are on review number
folks.
5. Why don't you go ahead and read thank you for these quality battles, and we'll finish this segment, God willing.
Yeah, that comes to us from Ultimate Happy, who said,
Thanks,
I just want to say, thank you. I just want to say thank you for all the quality battles while still being entertaining. We can tell the hard work and effort that goes into making the show, studying the battles, oh yes, and publishing for everyone to see. Amazing show. Ray and Sam Proof, big fan. P.S. Why did you delete all of the old battles since most of the people watched the most recent one first? Just saying, it would be great to have the old episodes that you worked hard on for how many years? I'll let Ray.
I mean, I think I can speak to that. And we've talked about this on the show before, is that, when we separated the brand from the other iteration of the show that's off doing whatever they're doing right now, who knows? I don't.
They're out there somewhere.
What I would say is we were told under no uncertain terms that if we didn't want someone to get legal with things, and threats were made, and we were told, you're not allowed to use the likeness of people no longer affiliated with the Who Would Win Masters show and network. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Yeah. I did not intend to get litigious about things, nor do I want to
what would be the point?
What would be the point? Yeah. Maybe there's an opportunity down the road where some of those episodes could see the light of day again. Maybe on the side, who knows? But it's just not something that I wanted to waste time with, given that that's not the direction of the show currently, and what I just said about it before that.
And really, ultimately, what this comes down to is really just a chance to, set the record back to 0 for Spider-Man. Just so there you go.
That's right. Spider-Man's never been on this show.
That's right.
Right. So we got that going for us. Never mind once a season. It's some variation, more than once typically. Don't worry about that. We got lots of actual fresh ideas now. This is a wonderful place to be.
Yeah.
I'm vamping because I don't want to talk about some of these votes, I don't think. Because that's where we're at right now. It's time for the fan vote for both the Mortalverse poll,
that's right,
our friends over at the Mortalverse, as well as the Patreon poll. So I'll get the drum roll queued up. We'll see if it works.
Oh man, high production values.
You only get the highest production values on Who Would Win Masters and the most competent technical minds.
The most digital of buttons.
That's right. So the Mortalverse poll. Oh, I might have it here. So Sam Proof, are you ready?
All right, here we go. Yeah, the Mortalverse poll. This is the unofficial poll. with a whopping 89% of the Mortalverse server's votes. Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe takes this one. That is 11 for Ranma. Now again...
Oh, the people are going nuts in the chat.
Now again,
89%.
This is the Mortalverse. It is unofficial. This is a vote that is made before they know who's repping who. Sometimes they...
Before the battle even comes out, one would argue.
Yes, before the battle comes out, before the assignments have been made. So it's a lot of guesswork. They have heard none of the arguments.
I was gonna say, I was gonna come for Matthew Dawson, but if this is just who do you like more, obviously Snake Eyes is the better known character, so I'm not mad at that.
No,
I mean, maybe it comes down to who's got the best illustration on the Mortalverse poll banner at that time. I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's right. Best name recognition, oftentimes, is what we do.
Very often.
All I'm saying is, don't cross me, Dawson. Don't do it.
Man,
I will be so mean to you on Blue Sky, which everybody's on, obviously.
Okay.
No, you and those other two people are going to be going nuts with that.
Just going ham. Going Easter ham on him.
It's fair. All right. Here we go.
Let's do the official.
It's time for the official Patreon poll.
Official Patreon
Here we go.
Is this the one?
This is the one. For all the marbles.
One that counts?
That is not. That's just clapping. I mean, thank you. Okay.
I hate this soundboard.
With 57% of the soundboard and the votes, the winner goes to Ranma Saotome, Robert Clark Chan.
No!
Defeating
I'm
Snake
not
Eyes.
surprised.
It's close, but not that close.
No, because the poll started with something like 90% Saotome. Is that right, Chan? Not bad.
There you go.
And and I had a huge regroup, and if I think more people I could have gotten more late votes. I could have done what we did to James Bond a week ago or a few weeks ago and actually pulled off this poll, but we just ran out of time. We just ran out of time on this one.
Did you paper the arena? Is that what happened?
I did paper the arena, and it only led to so many votes. A little disappointing. I really did feel that Snake Eyes is the better competitor. I thought I had the better debate. A lot of people in the Discord for Mortalverse, I will say, said, I think Snake Eyes wins this battle. And then I saw a couple of posts, people being like, hey, I just looked up both characters. I want to change my vote. You got to look it up before you vote, people. You got to look it up.
It's a little uneven, I think, because, the one guy's picking up boulders. It seemed a little off-weighted, but I'm actually surprised it's as close as it is. Yeah.
Well, my argument was very, very strong, and I think that's
it was well, it was well debated on both sides.
You're very articulate, Ray.
I knew exactly where
almost
you were
like
go
he's done this before. All right,
you don't sound like those other guys. I know what you're doing, Robert Clark Chan.
Wow.
I know exactly what you're doing. And we have to go to an ad break right now because we have to get away from it. That's right. Get us out of that conversation right now.
Welcome back to a completely different part of this show. All right. We're going to take a look at your comments. Ray, you want to start us off?
I will start us off. We'll rotate this around. I'll go, Sam goes, Chan goes. That seems fair. I'm going to read the first comment, though. We had a lot of comments this week. We always get a lot of comments. I'm very excited about it. I'd love to see more coming in from, say, like the Instagram, the Discord.
Sure.
And maybe maybe I need to check there again. I'll check as we do this just to make sure I didn't miss any or any late ones came in. But
you have the comments hooked up from your OnlyFans, Ray?
We don't talk about my OnlyFans. We don't talk about my third podcast. We don't talk about
man. What's the first rule of OnlyFans? Is you talk about OnlyFans. How are you going to get more people?
All of those comments are just please.
Yeah, this is a family-friendly death show. How dare you?
I just read a headline that a woman is retiring at the age of 27 after making like $60 million in 3 years on OnlyFans. So obviously, this is the most lucrative job one could have.
But not for us, Robert Clark Chan. Not for
I think
anyone who's
there's,
on this show right now.
Not with that attitude, Ray. Not with that attitude.
I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Forbidden Mob's going to lead us off here. Thank you, Forbidden Mob. Love having you part of the show. He says, Chan won.
Where's
already
the
hate
clapping?
this
Where's
comment.
that clapping? Give me that applause noise.
Yeah, you want to really? You think I'm going to be able to just pull that out at a moment's notice?
Here's the thing.
There you go.
There it is.
All right, enough of that.
I win because I get to hear the noise, and I win because you're going to be caught out and have to try and find the noise. So you're going to sound like a buffoon doing that. This all is wonderful to me.
You're not wrong. Matthew Dawson is in chat, Chan. So if you want to threaten him, he's here. So thank you. So here we go. Chan won, he says. Congratulations, sir, and welcome to the new iteration of Who Would Win. Sir, you made a heck of an entry. Ray, you rep Snake Eyes expertly. Duke, Flint, even Sergeant Slaughter would be proud. Unfortunately, this one felt like a bit of a mismatch. I knew nothing of Ranma until I did a quick Google search. There you go. That's all it took. But this incredible episode sealed the deal. Snake Eyes has gotten too used to beating the same Cobra lackeys up since 1982. Ranma, like Mr. Chan said, could throw boulders, deflect bullets, faster and stronger. The adaptability plus his own ninja-based tactics is too much. Awesome episode. Firm handshakes all around, gentlemen. Robert, please come back soon. Ray, he's won the battle, but not the war. Next time Ray gets the anime juggernaut and Chan gets shipwreck, it's only fair.
Nice.
That sounds fair. Goku versus shipwreck. Next time Chan's on the show.
You think I can't beat Goku with shipwreck?
I hope you can't, because that would look very bad for me.
I will bring in Neil Flynn. I ain't playing.
Chan, language. This is not that other show.
Wow. All right, let's move on. Matthew Dawson says, I can't in good conscience vote for a character who sneaks up on people and strips them naked, then, from what I gather, beats them with their own underwear? ? Snake Eyes wins on principle. He's the gentleman.
Interesting.
He's the gentleman's ninja, I suppose.
Ninja, yeah. Totally.
All right, listen, Matthew. You may not have been in here when I was talking trash about you, but now that you are, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's pretty gross. Weird stuff happens in Ranma because it is a Japanese manga, and I have no defense for that. As far as I'm concerned, you spelled principle correctly. You used the correct form of principle, which on the internet is almost unheard of. So honestly, I got to give it to you, man. Yeah. Matthew's correct.
Hashtag Matthew is right.
Huh?
Yeah, it seems a little long.
That might be a little much. Chan, you got the next comment. Let's keep this rolling.
Adam Bradbury, thank you for commenting. Adam says, I do think you can almost never win against anime. Too much exaggeration inflates the power levels, but I'm voting for Snake Eyes because I feel bad for forgetting to vote for Solid Snake last week.
It was your fault.
I mean,
all right.
Look, the man's in herpetology, and he's got to rep his lizard people.
No, that's great. No, and I appreciate Adam. Thank you so much for leaving the comment. I wish you would come in and voted for Solid Snake. Pulling a victory out instead of that hated draw would have been really phenomenal. But thank you for coming through and making this vote a little bit closer. 57-43, that's not the worst thing in the entire world as far as having to lose at the hands of the people goes. I don't like it. I don't want to keep losing. But I will accept that as at least close, given that people think it's a mismatch, but a lot of them still think I won. So I'm going to take that and really enjoy it.
All right, well, take this next comment and really enjoy that.
Oh, I guess I'm reading again.
You're the one that said the order.
Listen,
I
don't know what's happening anymore. Listen, Lena Liddy, thank you, Lena. I appreciate you as well. I think Ray took it. How about that comment? I think Snake Eyes surprises him in a first encounter, but Ranma probably takes any rematch every single time. Doesn't matter. I accept the victory on behalf of Lena. Thank you. Thank you, Lena.
Fair enough.
I will say, given the structure of these things, anime, manga sort of structure often is that, You meet someone unbeatable, and then you find out a way to beat them. Whereas American cartoons, you have one episode, and you have to figure the thing out in real time, in that one episode. So I feel like that is one of anime's big Achilles heels in this sort of who would win setup. So,
That's fair.
Okay.
again, not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a best out of 3, that's, a definitive win for Ranma, but that's fair. That's a fair observation. Nate comes at us with just hashtags. I can pronounce that word. Hashtag Ray is right. Hashtag anime can beat Ray. Hashtag, this one's, I gotta look for the words here. Snake Eyes can beat Clark Chan. Okay.
The second hashtag was anime can't beat Ray.
Can't beat Ray.
There we go.
Yep. You're right. Yep.
But Snake Eyes can
I was
beat Chan.
I was like, okay. Yeah, it's when it's all, there's no subcaps happening. It's all just lowercase. Took a minute. My dyslexia, not a fan of the long hashtags. All right.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was very hard to write too when it came to the document. I'm not going to lie.
All right. But thank you, Nate. All right. Moving on.
Wes Holt says the last 3 battles have been very different battles. Sam Fisher versus Imhotep was like a plucky amateur versus a seasoned pro. Bond versus Snake was like a frenzied cage fight. This was more like a chess match. Both debaters made intelligent points, great back and forth. You know what? I think Snake Eyes sneaks it under the rules of the show. I mean, once you've heard the name of one kung fu technique, you've heard them all, right?
I agree.
I disagree. I have not heard of so many of these things when I was digging into the Ranma backstory. And I read the entire series. I had completely forgotten some of the bug nutty crazy things that happen in there. I still think that the bizarro kung fu techniques take it. But hey, I'm not the audience. So
Absolutely.
Chan,
you are clearly not the audience. I'm going to read Ollie Lowe here. Ollie was just on the show with James Bond versus Solid Snake. He says, I was almost swayed by the Ranma loses the first fight against styles he's never seen before argument. But ultimately, based on the way this was described, it sounds like Snake Eyes is being outmatched in every way possible. So listening to my head, I've got to vote for Ranma. Edit. Update. Several days later, having listened to it again, screw it. I changed my mind. I think Snake Eyes does it on the first encounter. Never underestimate the ability to fail, to conquer that which you do not understand. Ollie gets it, ladies and gentlemen. That explains the headwinds. People needed to hear it a second time to understand that Ray was right. Not everybody's willing to put in the work to listen to an episode a second time, and that's why Chan ultimately prevailed. I'm fine saying that out loud.
Because everyone's lazy.
I feel like not lazy. Having to listen to Ray a second time is torture.
Some would say it's interminable. Yeah.
If he wants to get that second listen, maybe I don't know, take some voice classes.
Wow.
Work on this.
What, more of them? How many do I need?
Whatever's coming out of your face and into the microphone.
Holy moly.
Maybe less of that, more pleasant sounds.
You're not going to get pleasant sounds out of me on any level of what I do, Robert Clark Chan.
That's all I'm saying.
Lest we forget my main character from Vampire Reclaim Detroit. What I loved about Reclaim Detroit, I'm just going to tangent for a second.
Here we go.
What's the fact that never heard of it? You're in it. How dare you? Is that people listen to the first episode and they're like, this is a great like vampire noir thing.
Wow.
They listen to the second episode. They're just like, oh man, this is sort of like a Western vibes with a vampire story. And then they get to episode 3 starring my character, Michael Price. And across the board, the comment is, I don't like this guy. I don't like his voice. I don't like him. I hate him. What is this show anymore? And then we win him back with DJ Max and Aurora. But still, I love the fact that I could make people upset just by existing.
I believe we were speaking about that earlier. It's your career in the ring. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
You just got to play to your strengths.
Can you
That's
be
right. For those who don't know, Robert Clark Chan was at my house. He was at my house earlier today for an Easter event, and we talked wrestling for like a half hour. It was crazy.
Indeed.
Anyway, Moving
All right,
forward.
moving on. Contextually, is there any context to this next comment that comes to us from Delvin Cox?
I don't
Is
know. He
this
was doing
a
this a
reply
lot, so I
to
think just give
Ollie?
it your best read.
Okay, I will. I want to make
No,
sure that
this is just separate.
Okay, I want to make sure I don't do what I did with Nate's hashtag, because this has the same thing. It's all kind of smashed together. It's all just a bunch of, uppercase letters. So let me. Okay.
That was from Delvin Cox.
That was Delvin Cox.
Delvin Cox. Delvin Cox. How dare you, Delvin Cox? How
Fantastic.
very dare you?
John Shank says, I would say that Ranma 1/2 is my favorite manga slash.
Oh.
Spells it favorite with a U. So he's
Ooh.
from England.
Yeah.
Respect from across the pond. My favorite manga slash anime, and Robert Clark Chan has brought us A game so well that I'm finally ready to forgive him for the Care Bear slash Deathstroke debacle.
Wow.
His argument that Ranma was borderline Toon Force, which was too much for the somewhat more grounded G.I. Joe universe, pretty much said it all. Ranma has superhuman levels of strength, speed, and endurance, plus martial arts skills way beyond those of the highest trained peak human, which is what I would say Snake Eyes is. Bring on the 7 deadly sins versus the 7 from the boys. Yeah, I don't know if you have that in your database as a possible future match, but that would be
I don't know much about that. What are the 7 deadly sins? Is that from like the
Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, why not? I only know one episode of Full Metal Alchemist, and it's the most depressing thing I've ever seen. Weirdly enough, whenever we watch anime together, Chan, I end up crying. What's going on with that?
Well, for various reasons. Each one just a little bit different from every other. So you just watched that weird ass space volleyball anime series?
Yes, I did. I finished Battle Athlete's Victory. I watched all the episodes, all 26 episodes of it, and it's delightful. It's as great as I remember it.
You can't be bothered to watch Full Metal Alchemist. There's 2 different versions you can watch. Either of them.
And how many episodes per? Is it less than 26, Robert Clark Chan?
Don't worry about it. Just start watching it. And then once you get to 26, you can decide, well, maybe I'll just stop now. Now that I'm a fifth of the way into the story.
Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody saying, oh, Ray, you've never seen One Piece. You should probably check it out. I go, there's like 1,200 episodes. How would any human being over the age of 9 have any chance at all of watching this show?
I think you underestimate the anime fandom, Ray. You severely underestimate.
Constantly. Okay, I'm going to read the next one here. We got Eric Hiding. Thank you, Eric, for being on the show. Eric Hiding says, it was great to hear Robert Clark Chan again and not talking about the Care Bears. We got a theme here, Chan. We got a theme.
You know how you feel about being the most hated guy in a wrestling ring. You know what? I kind of am totally fine being that in this who would win genre space. All right. I am perfectly happy to send people home unsatisfied and raging at a decision made in these parts.
That's why you no longer make decisions on this show. You come in and debate instead, and then the chips fall where they may. You have rage baited with your decisions on the old format more times than you didn't. Let me just put that out there.
I can back up every single one of those times too, which just speaks to how warped I am personally. In my brain, in my heart of hearts.
I made a realization around season 3 of the old show. It's that if Robert Clark Chan, who I talk to all the time, is coming on as judge, do not make the mistake of telling him going in, I'm pretty confident I've got an ironclad argument for this one that I don't think you're going to be able to find a way against. Like I did with Deathstroke versus the Care Bears. Because he will take that as a challenge, personally.
That is on you. That is on you.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. I stopped with the bravado. Eric says this was an interesting battle, and one I think both needs to use the sponsorship of deodorant by the end of the battle. Ranma might need double for the 2 personalities. Interesting. Snake Eyes is a great ninja and one that uses guns, which doesn't usually happen. Ranma, however, has a lot of things that are physically just not possible in Snake Eyes' universe. It's like putting Thor in Dragon Ball Z. Thor is great and powerful, but if he faces Goku, even in his Super Saiyan 1 form, he has no shot. As much as it pains me, I think Ranma gets this one. However, I do think if Snake Eyes has prior knowledge and time to prepare, which I know is not allowed, Snake Eyes could take him down. On a side note, I do have one little issue with the email song. Okay, ooh, hot take. In the song, it says that they play it because it's annoying to Ray, but really the song drives Sam nuts. Maybe make that adjustment in the lyrics. Sam, do you have any comments about that?
I mean, that is a fair read on that. Yeah, I think this played out different than I don't know how much forethought Ray really had when putting this all together. But
very little.
I mean, that is accurate. But it is what it is.
I like it. Oh, Lord Snurts is here, and also in our chat.
I'll do this.
We got something to say.
Let's get moving on with this. Snurts says, even if it hurts my fantasy league pick, I have to give the win to Robert Clark Chan. The anime feats trump the
Come on, Snurts.
Wow. The anime feats trump the G.I. Joe ninja, punching boulders, kicking ass with noodles, and knowing a crap ton of fighting styles secured victory for Ranma Saotome. Love how folks are bringing up Deathstroke versus the Care Bears.
It really lives on in
it's
people.
not
You live
stopping,
rent-free, Robert Clark Chan.
I do. Fame, I'm gonna live forever.
There it is. This is your
I'm gonna learn
15
how to
minutes.
fly. Fame, I'm gonna. Moxford says, "Is it like box spaghetti where he can stab someone through the eye with it, or al dente where he has to smother them to death with perfectly cooked rigatoni?"
Yeah, what's the deal with that fighting style, Chan? What's the handle?
I mean, basically, you cram someone's mouth full of food, of edible food, perfectly edible, even delicious food, to the point where they can't move. Much like a duck gets, or a goose gets force-fed for foie gras.
Yeah.
They often use chopsticks to do it too. So, it takes a great deal of skill, is all I'm saying.
I don't know, because the chefs at Golden Corral have been doing that to me for years.
You have been doing that to yourself.
Oh,
and I
maybe
feel
I'm
like
skilled.
you probably do have a few dots in that skill now.
Wow.
Go on.
Self-suffocation with food.
We
All
got-
right. That's a skill. Okay.
So we have one more here, and then I have two more from the Discord that I need to read. So these are not on your sheets. So I'm gonna take over for a moment. William Schmidt says, "Hi, William." He says, "I didn't feel like there was a clear winner in this fight. Both sides were very well represented.
Okay.
However, the point that Ray made about Ranma losing to a new fighting style when he or she first encounters one gives Snake Eyes the edge, in my opinion. So I'm giving the vote to Ray in this matchup." I agree. I thought that was very compelling, and I thought that was a strong victory here. But there are two more that came off of Discord that I don't think were accounted for, and I'm just going to add them here as I found them. One comes from Robert Clark Chan from the Discord. He says, "As a completely unbiased party, Snake Eyes is my dude when I watched G.I. Joe as a kid, but Ranma blew my mind when I first got into anime in college. It's kind of a tough fight when it's Super Serious 9000 versus pandas and hair care puns, but the feats speak for themselves." Again, completely unbiased. But that Robert Clark Chan is one sexy mofo. Am I right? I mean, I'd sign up for the Patreon just to watch the videos with him over and over again.
There you go. That's basic trust.
Ringing endorsement. It's fantastic.
That's pretty good. And I got one more off there from Guardian, who I don't think we've heard from Guardian, but he did mention on the Discord. And so I definitely wanted to give him his dap here. Guardian says, "Great episode as always. I knew next to nothing about Snake Eyes coming into this, and I was surprised by some of his feats. Sounds like a very cool character. That being said, the physical attributes alone put Ranma on a whole other level. The 4-ton boulder argument being very hard to counter. If Ranma is tanking explosions and hits, that Shatterstone, I don't think bullets are going to do anything more than annoy him. Ranma has it in strength and stamina, and while Snake Eyes might match him in burst speed, I don't think that's enough. Ranma gets my vote. That is the final word. Robert Clark Chan, any final thoughts on the comments you have just heard?
Mostly well thought out, lovely human beings with correct opinions, and only a few only a few dolts.
Adults or dolts?
Dolts.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we have that correctly.
There you go.
There we go. All right. That is all of that. We're going to come back, and we got a lot of other topics to discuss. But my goodness, we got to have another ad break. Am I right?
That's right. How else will we know where we are in this show? We're back, and it's that time. It's the time for that song that everyone wants to go away, except maybe one person.
Okay, so here's the deal. I made a shorter version for this week.
Okay.
And I'm going to play it, and I want the people to tell me, and here's the deal. Do we want the long version? Do we want the short version? This is going to be the short version. Do you feel left out upon hearing this newer version? So it's time for emails, everybody.
All right, this is my first time hearing this.
Okay.
And so now that I have heard the short version, why don't you play the long version for me
Oh,
so that we can
why?
so that I can decide which.
You know what, Chan? For you, I'll do it.
Oh my God.
Let's hear from the community. Reading emails is our destiny. You've got a voice, you got something to say, and we're gonna read them, 'cause it's annoying to read. Now it's time to end this song before it gets to be way too long to do anymore. We just prolong this intro, which would be wrong. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time.
Definitely overtones of Alter Bridge with just a hint of Gary Shandling. I appreciate that. I heard that line that someone was suggesting replacing Illinois Ray with Sam.
That's fair.
And it was, by the time that it happened, it had already passed. I didn't have a chance to sort of like think through which I think would be better. So could you play the long version again, just so that
Yes, I can.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Did you
My
guys-
producer
is this a
says
bit
I'm
that you
being
guys set
vetoed
up?
right now.
it is not, but you know that if I
Alright.
smell blood in the water, I'm gonna go with
Ken, I'm told the show is over immediately if I play it again, so I'm not allowed to. We have to move on without. You could rewind it as a listener and listen to it over and over again if you want to.
do that. That sounds awful.
Well, it would be
Agreed.
wrong.
I agree.
You don't want a long song.
I was so worried that you
But I'm
might
gonna
have
read
a
Luke's
third,
email
longer
here.
version of it. Okay, go read the
I think
email.
we need an 18-minute version that we play for every episode.
It's the
That's what
smoke
I
up the
like.
water version, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's go for the extended cut. For those of you who are fans of Alan Wake 2, Alan Wake 2 has a song that's part of like the game that's all about being trapped in a song that's playing while you're trying to like escape it in a nightmare reality. And I bought the record, I bought the album from the Old Gods of Asgard, and they made like a 32-minute version of that song, which was already on its own like 13 minutes long.
Oh my
They
God.
made a super extended version, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, it's great. I want a 32-minute version of the email song.
All right, Matthew
That's what I
Dawson
want.
in the
Oh.
chat, says, can we get the Snyder Cut equivalent of the email song? No, we can't. Veto.
I don't know. I
Do I
think
have that
we
power?
can. If people want it, hashtag, here we go. Give us some hashtag longer email songs. Let's make this happen. This show, this Who Would Win wrap-up show is not long enough. I'm going to read Luke's email now, and it says, Dear Ray and Sam, Snake Eyes versus Ranma Saotome. A rank battle. Nice.
Yeah.
I've tried to pass the episode along to some friends, and I hope they bring the numbers up. Luke, this is why you're the best. While I was hoping for Raven versus Sailor Moon or Naruto versus anybody, I still must say thank you for bringing another battle with an anime/manga character. And it was a joy to see Robert Clark Chan back on the show. We all missed him. How about that? I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards Ranma because, like Robert Clark Chan mentioned, Snake Eyes probably hasn't seen the fighting styles that Ranma uses. At least not all of them. So much that Snake Eyes might as well say, what the flip is going on here? Careful.
Thank you.
Plus, the strength level Ranma has reminds me of Team Rocket blasting off in 95% of the Pokemon anime, all of Ash Ketchum's seasons and movies. Big punt or a big yeet-style punch like Captain America or Inuyasha. Kind of like Jason Myers' punts from the Seahawks, but roided up to the max. Jason Myers, come on, Luke. Jason Myers is the field goal kicker, not the punter. I get what you're going for there, and I know you were a big Seattle fan, and congratulations on your Super Bowl victory. You jerk, it should have been the Lions.
Oh, wow.
But come on, man, he's not the punter. You're really getting me down in the weeds on this one. Spider-Man or Captain America level fitness is what it sounds like. Also, Ranma's burning desire to rid himself of that curse of his permanently to remain as a boy for life would be a massive motivational factor. Plus, on a side note, looking at it from a real-world perspective, I, and those who are into athletics and exercise, do know that men carry and produce more testosterone than women. Ranma will need that as an advantage in this fight for him to win. I'm sure as you can understand that given your pro wrestling background. I have gotten my butt kicked by women in the ring before. So yes, but also no. I once in training fought against Becca Swanson. You can look her up. She's the world's strongest woman. And dear Lord, is physically intimidating. While I believe there is some truth to your statement about testosterone, it is not the only thing that matters in the ring. I can speak from personal experience. She is a delight and definitely go support her. On another note, Snake Eyes versus Batman in Fortnite, that was an outlier and carries less weight. Wow. Yeah. Although, in all fairness, I figure that you and other people wouldn't bring those unless you felt like you absolutely needed to. Although I still wonder, was Snake Eyes versus Batman in Fortnite even canon? I really don't know. Better luck next time, Ray. Still, you get an S rank for bringing your best for this one, like in other battles. Still, Snake Eyes being from G.I. Joe, a true American hero. God bless America. Hashtag Ray is wrong this time. Hashtag Sam gets it. Hashtag Nani. Hashtag a boot to the head. I don't know about some of those last ones. I know a boot to the head. I know that sketch. It's very delightful. Okay. But I don't understand.
Nani is Japanese for what?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That'll do
there you
it.
go. Luke is more cultured than I am.
Apparently,
I am but a dumb American. And that's all I've got. But thank you, Luke. And anybody else who wants to email us, whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. We'll read them on the air. This is not just the Luke segment. You could join as well if you wanted to. We'll read your comments. We'll read your emails too.
Yeah, it's the email song, not the Luke song. So please feel free to send an email.
That very specifically, we made it to not be the Luke song. This is not a call out, but this is the email song. So as long as we're getting them, we're going to keep reading them. We got a few
but thank you and shout out to Luke
here.
for keeping that alive. All right. Yeah, go. Let's get into battle suggestions.
Luke. Yeah. This segment is only slightly shorter than the email song, according to Lawrence Nerds, which is not inaccurate. Not inaccurate. We got battle suggestions. We have a Discord. And if you're a member of the Patreon, free or paid, you can get access to the Discord, which allows you to take advantage of even more conversation. That's more of like the flowing conversation about the battles, about what you're watching, about battles you want to suggest. We're going to look at all that stuff there. So patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. We talk about it all the time. We're going to talk about it again. That's the thing you can do. The Discord has, I pulled 4 battle suggestions here.
Cool.
So let's see here. I'll read the first one. We can divvy it up around.
Sure.
First one comes from Guardian. He says, it's the showdown we've all been waiting for, Android versus iPhone. No, wait. It's Android versus robot, DBZ versus Marvel. It's Android 18 versus Ultron. I think 18 takes it because it's DBZ power, but Ultron faces down the Avengers, so he's physically on par. I like Ultron only because he can bring all those other robots to the battle. Android 18 might be physically stronger, but Ultron is a little Super Saiyan-y. in that when he gets beaten, he comes back stronger each and every time, and can't, like the Borg, can't be beaten the same way multiple times. That's my thought. What do y'all think?
I know
I think
very
Super
little about all of
Saiyan is
that.
not a word.
Wow.
I knew I would get no help, but I asked for it anyway. I
There you
don't
go.
know what's wrong with me. Sam, go ahead and kick off that next
All
battle
right.
suggestion.
Ollie comes to us with, it's two detectives, kind of. X Factor's Jamie Madrox faces the Gray Son of Gotham. There's a reason why this has the 1v many tag included in it. If you know, you know. Basic who would win
He's
rules.
talking about multiple man.
Okay, all right. A basic
there we
who
go.
would win rules, random encounter, no prior knowledge, standard equipment for each. Okay. Yeah,
You know what? I left the title out of this one, and that's my own fault. Madrox, the multiple man versus Nightwing. That's the actual battle.
gotcha.
That's my fault.
Okay, all right.
Gray son of.
Yeah. There you go.
God,
There
okay.
you go. I think
All right.
honestly, I think that the multiple man beats Nightwing, but that's just me.
Mhm.
Just me.
I feel like the Bat Family is real strong, and like Nightwing is like B tier, but like
B tier.
Multiple Man is like C or maybe even D tier. I like him, but
Interesting. I mean,
All
maybe.
right. All right.
How about Chan? You got the next here from Mr. Matthew Dawson, your arch enemy / friend.
all right, here we go, Matthew. If that is your real name, the
think it
Dawson of Gotham, if you will. Mewtwo versus Darth Sidious. Legendary Pokemon versus the Dark Lord of the Sith. Who would win this powerhouse showdown?
Ooh, Mewtwo versus Darth Sidious. I got to go with Mewtwo on this one. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
That's my gut reaction, but I don't know.
I'd
feel
like to explore that further.
Darth Sidious is like the big bad of
Sure.
all of Star Wars, and we see so little of them on screen. My gut says that there's all sorts of EU stuff and comic books and whatnot that show all sorts of crazy stuff if you can do.
Right.
So I wouldn't count him out.
I don't get into the fan fiction though, so I don't deal with the extended universe of Star Wars.
I mean, if it's published, man, it's got to count something.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It was all
Wow.
rendered non-canon and therefore immaterial.
Oh, so it's
With
only
the-
the 9? It's only the 9 movies? Huh?
Well, there's also Solo, a Star Wars story. That's canon.
That's fan fiction.
I mean, honestly, it kind of is. We got our last one here. Sam Proof,
yeah.
why don't you read this last one? Because it's from you.
Oh, look at that. This is,
Try to get
11.
close,
Hey guys, hey, it's Sam Proof here.
That's
Yeah,
Sam
this
Proof
is,
right
there it is.
now. I know.
11 versus Matilda. There we go. So, yeah,
I think
two young
Matilda
ladies with
curb
some
stomps
powers.
11.
Interesting.
Yeah. Matilda
Yeah.
is ridiculous. Matilda, I
She's
think, would beat
pretty
Mary
strong.
Poppins.
Ooh,
And Mary
that's
Poppins is an
interesting.
elite S-tier competitor. That's a hot take, maybe, but I think
That
Matilda
is
does
hot.
take that. Matilda Mary
Okay.
Poppins is maybe a battle we should visit on this show. I would also like
like
Matilda
that.
versus Sailor Moon if we're talking about the anime angle. I think there's a lot of meat on that bone.
All right. The Mary Poppins one stands out for me. I feel like Matilda versus anime might, I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd have to really sit down with that one and unpack it. But
I haven't
Those are
done
both
the
interesting.
research. That's my gut.
yeah, okay. I like it.
I don't even know. But we're going to move on to what we're watching / playing. And I'm going to start it up here. I just last night stayed up past midnight so I could play my second playthrough of The Alters. Absolutely my game of the year 2025. No, the Expedition 33 game is very, very popular and it touched a lot of people very deeply. I played it for a good 5 hours and I fell off because I didn't like the combat system of being a JRPG that you had to still dodge the enemy attacks like I'm playing Dark Souls. I don't play a JRPG to play Dark Souls. It's a very unpopular take online, and I got a lot of heat for it when I put this thought on Threads. But I honestly think The Alters is the game that I definitely connect with, I identify with. For those who don't know, it's a combination of base management as well as third-person exploration and relationship, going down the flow chart of conversations with. The vibe is you're a guy in space on a mission who's the lowest tier on his ship, but he's the only survivor of an accident. And there is a special technology allowing him to create alternate versions of himself from alternate realities where he made different choices and therefore has different skills, personalities, and knowledges, so he could build out a crew that could get him through his problem. I love this game. I realize how much I loved it playing through this second time, especially, where I was just, this is an absolute masterpiece. I loved Blueprints, which is my runner-up for Game of the Year last year. The Alters. I will stand by it. It was just on the Steam Spring Sale, and I couldn't help myself. I loved it.
Okay. Well, I recently did a lot of traveling, so I was flying back and forth from the West Coast to East Coast and back, and had a whole lot of screen time. So I had a bunch of movies. I saw One Battle After Another, which is
Okay.
It's P.T. Anderson directed, and it is Leonardo DiCaprio and Chase Infinity in this sort of father-daughter relationship set amongst it's like a 60s, 70s inspired radical revolutionary movement, but in modern times, with Sean Penn as the big bad guy. Regina Hall's in there. Tiana Taylor plays like the mother to Chase Infinity's character, and the whole thing spans like 30, 40 years. It's like a really,
Wow.
epic. It's almost 3 hours, so it's like you gotta really be in the right frame of mind, I think, to get into it. Benicio del Toro has like a whole, I don't know, 40, 50-minute chunk of the movie that kind of focuses around him. And I don't want to say it's like all over the place. That's not the right verbiage, but it does a lot. Like it goes to a lot of different places, and it's good. Like, all of the actors, phenomenal performances. I think just as a writer looking into it, there's like one moment where I'm like, oh man, you went all the way to this. Why didn't you just do this one thing? Because it's not set up like we're gonna do that in another movie. This is the story. And I'm like, God, I just wanted this thing to happen. I don't want to put it out there, but like there's a redemption moment where you're like, oh, they could have done it, but they didn't. But
Sam, you're talking good. Like this movie's under the radar. It did just win Best Picture Academy Award Oscar. So
look, man, not everybody watches those. Yeah, but no, it's really well done. So yes, it is worth the almost 3 hours of your life.
Yeah, I need to check it out. It's definitely on my list right now. I haven't bothered yet. I saw Sinners, and that was enough for me.
Okay. All right, Chan, anything you got playing or watching?
Deadlock season 2 just dropped a couple weeks back. It's an Australian show. You can find it on Amazon, or I don't know, if you're looking for a boat in a bay, perhaps you can get a hold of it without paying Bezos any money. It's a just absolutely wonderful show. If you're into murder mysteries, comedy murder mysteries of the, sort of Only Murders in the Building vibe, but Australian, very dark, very funny, considerably more swearing than this podcast. But,
not when you're on it.
I imagine you've heard those words before. And super just, yeah. If you enjoy that sort of thing and you kind of get bored because you see the same thing over and over here, why not try something from another continent?
Wow, there you go.
Great. Damn, yeah.
You hear that? I believe in American exceptionalism, but, not Robert Clark Chan. Speaking of American exceptionalism, I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
No, it's fine. It's just fine. It's not going to change any worlds. It's not going to make a difference in any way. It's going to make a lot of money. It's a bunch of wonderful characters. I think the casting was wonderful, like Charlie Day as Luigi. I never saw the first one. I was not invited on that trip with my family. They sometimes leave me out of things. What's up with that? I did get invited to the second movie, so I had no basis of the first movie to understand why these people are where they are, I don't think it matters because it's just remember this thing from Nintendo's history. Hey, remember this other thing from Nintendo's, and it does that for like an hour and a half. And I cheered and
It's all
stomped
fan
my
service.
feet. And
okay.
I literally, when a certain pilot character came out, I started tearing up a little bit because of the joy I felt from playing that game when I was younger. That's what this movie is. It's fine. It's a solid like 7.5 out of 10. It's nothing you gotta see. It's something you're gonna see, and it's gonna be perfectly fine, and you're gonna enjoy it and never think about it again.
So the whole movie is just you being the Leonardo DiCaprio meme of pointing. And yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Cool. Matthew Dawson says,
I can
very
speak to
excited.
it though. The movie's
okay.
not long. The movie's not long, but I did have 2 bathroom breaks.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why that's important, but I had to put it out there.
Okay. The other movie, one of the other movies I saw on the flight to the East Coast was Roof Man, which is the true life story of a former U.S. Army Ranger turned robber who then escapes from prison with Channing Tatum as the lead role. And then he goes on to live for months and months in a Toys R Us. And this is a true story. It's quirky. It's weird. My wife worked at a Toys R Us in the 90s, which is when this takes place.
Oh, wow.
And we were both watching it on separate screens. And like, she was just adamant about how perfectly they recreated a Toys R Us to the point where at some, around the Christmas holiday, Peter Dinklage, who's the manager of the Toys R Us, gives a speech about how many hours people are going to be working and stuff like that. And she said, this was almost beat for beat a speech that was given to my crew. It was like, okay, wow. They really did their research on it. It also has Kirsten Dunst as the love interest. And yeah, it's a wild ride and it's really funny. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, if you get a chance to see it, do it. I loved it.
Okay. Chan, what else you watching?
I am reading / listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Wow.
Okay.
Just recently, it was announced that Seth MacFarlane is going to be producing the TV show, which, I mean, I don't think is a good idea, but what are you going to do? I don't give
it's
a crap.
It's a very popular series. I've heard that 2 out of 3 people on Knowing Is Half the Podcast read / listen to it.
Indeed. I my partner gave it to me for Christmas because like someone at their work liked it, and they're like, oh, email like this, and I almost didn't pick it up because I was like, cool, Ready Player One, but with more testosterone. Sign me. What's the opposite of sign me down? Sign me down. I want nothing to do with this.
Good at all.
But I read it and I was like, dang, this is really enjoyable. It's in fact a whole genre that I would ordinarily be like, no, never in a million years. It's lit RPG, which is basically what if a video game were a book, which sounds awful.
Sure. Yeah.
Like there is so little crossover between what makes a book good and what makes a video game good. I'm like, is this just going to be the dude bros version of a romance novel? Just like pander, give you all the just whatever garbage, your thyroid desires. But it turned out to be really fast, really zippy, really fun, just enjoyable to read. When you do have references, they're pretty subtle. They just kind of blow by them rather than making a meal out of them, which is one of the things I hate the most. I feel like the progenitor of that was Dane Cook, who just made a career out of, hey guys, remember X? And you sit and clap like a monkey. And you know what? The first time it happened, not so bad. I get it. I enjoy nostalgia. But then when it became a whole cottage industry, I'm straight up over it. The audiobooks are fantastic. They're narrated by one guy, Jeff Hayes, and he's become kind of a big deal just based off this one thing. He's a very good audiobook narrator, and this is just a very good narration. So, like, give it a shot. Get the book, get the audiobook, see what you think about it. The first book isn't really huge. By the time you get to books 6 and 7, they are long AF. But if if you make it that far, then you'll be happy that they're that long. So, yeah,
delightful.
Nice.
I don't agree with you, Chan, about the novelization video game, and I actually have the novelization of Pac-Man here, and I'm going to read a little excerpt from it. He eats the dot.
Yeah.
He eats the dot. He eats the dot.
It's
he
pretty
eats
tight.
the dot. He eats the power pellet.
Whoa.
He eats the ghost. He eats the dot. Genius.
Honestly, I thought you were going to go a different route. I thought you were going to like find some smutty book and be like, opened his gaping maw and swallowed the.
I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the next recommendation here because
weirdly though, one of my favorite books from a while back is Eric Nyland's novelization of Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
I hear that's good.
Honestly, like, yeah, it doesn't feel like a video game, because as in my head, a video game in a book form is like pew pew, said Master Chief, and so
and then I hit my head on the bricks.
That's it. What I love about what's happening right now, and only the people in our here live can tell, but Chan has a cat on his recording desk that repeatedly is slapping his mic and his camera, causing everything to go absolutely haywire. And he is looking like he's just having a rough time over there right now.
It's worse than that because his tail is knocking over 2 glasses that I have here that I haven't taken back to the kitchen. So I'm like,
delightful.
Please don't break that glass. Please don't break that glass. Okay, now you're hitting the camera.
It's great. I have one more to talk about. I finished. Yes. I finished Hijack Season 2 with Idris Elba. Didn't think it's a show that needed a Season 2. They did it anyway. It was fine. Season 1 of Hijack on an airplane, I think, is wonderful television. It's a good short, BBC series. It's like 8 or 10 episodes. Very good. This second one is, again, I believe, 10 episodes. And it takes place on a subway train. Not as compelling, but they did a pretty good job with it. It was fine. If you like the first one, you can keep the story going with the second one. Doesn't feel necessary, but if you like a good, composed, short subject, Hijack Season 1 on Apple TV with Idris Elba, definitely something to consider.
Yeah, the first season was great. I had basically the same read on that, where like going into the second season, I was like, it's like, he's
why?
He's going to be in this again. But I think they did a, good enough job of like, explaining away like, oh, it's not just Speed 2. He's not just, another Die Hard happening. There is a thing here.
But it kind of is.
A good reason, but yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, the first season, real good. And maybe that's all you need to watch.
Maybe that's all you need to watch. That's all. It's very good, though.
Yeah. The last one I have is Begonia.
Yes.
Which is Emma Stone. Have you guys seen this? It's Emma Stone.
I need to see this movie. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's fantastic. Yeah, Emma Stone is this high-powered CEO who is kidnapped by the paranoid Jesse Plemons, who, by the way, is married to Kirsten Dunst.
He's great.
A connection there.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's been described as a paranoid political thriller. And yeah, it's just this exploration of conspiracy theory madness taken into this kidnapping, and it's so well done. And it's very it's a small cast. It's a small set for the most part. And it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. I loved it. I think I've said that pretty much to all of these. Yeah.
Yorgos Lanthimos is like one of my favorite directors, and like Lobster and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
This is great. I got a couple more segments here before we get out of here, and I know we always run a little long, but I'm going to try to bang through this. I got to talk about my challenge to the people. We're going to talk about movie night right now, because right now the show is itself. Who Would Win Masters, the podcast on Apple Podcasts, which is where we get all of our reviews we read from, is currently sitting at 1,161 reviews. I want to get that to 1,175. I want 14 more first-time reviews. Refreshing doesn't add to that number. So I want 14 more reviews on there. And I would like to get the Who Would Win Masters Patreon up to 100 people. I'm going to say it right now. I want 14 reviews, and I want us to get to 100 people, which is a little bit more than that. But I believe there's a lot of people listening right now that have not joined as a free member. If we can hit those two numbers when we do a movie night, I am going to say it right now. If I was smart, I would have had it prepped, ready to go. I was in a no-budget comedy movie with a bunch of people from the old sketch comedy show Top Story Weekly that I used to be a part of here in Hollywood 100 years ago. And we made a no-budget comedy, kind of a Waiting for Guffman / Best in Show about the underground world of marbles tournaments. It's a sports movie about marbles, and I am in it. You'll never believe it. I play a very unpleasant person in that movie. I know that's shocking to a lot of people right now. Some would say I play a bad guy in this movie. Unbelievable. I will show this at our movie night on stream. I have not shown anybody this movie in about maybe, 15 years? It goes back a little bit. I have even more hair and color in my hair back then than I do now. I will show this movie to everyone at movie night if we can hit these goals. So we can get me a bunch of more free patrons or paid, whatever, and we can get a handful more of the reviews, 5-star reviews on our Apple podcast for Who Would Win Masters. I will guarantee I will show this movie on stream. It's a lot of fun. It's silly. It might be very embarrassing for me, but I'm willing to pledge this for the people if they are willing to meet me at this challenge. Now, Sam, you said you had a challenge as well. That's mine.
All right. Well, you've already set those numbers. So I'll say if we take it 25 members past, 125 members on the Patreon.
Wow.
Again, that's free or paid. We will put out there, because the people have requested it, a version of the Sam's Decision song that is just by itself on the YouTube. I don't know if we can do it on the Spotify as well, or if that have to be on a separate thing as its own track, but so that you can play that to your heart's content. So there you go.
I like that. We're going to do it. Sam's Decision song. Also, if we get that many patrons, I will make the hallucinated 30-minute version or something to that effect of the Sam's Decision song. I do not care. I do not care. Now, we're going to move forward again here. You've got your marching orders. If you are somebody that applies to, do it, and you can be a part of the change that we want to see. We're talking about the Who Would Win, the guest tournament, the guest debater tournament of 8 people for this summer. We've talked about it a few times. I want to nail down some details here. We have 6 people in here. We have William Schmidt, who is confirmed to do it. Right. Blake Fulton, who I have not talked to. Blake, I'm just going to say right now, I need you, and if you know Blake Fulton, reach out to him. We need you to get a hold of us at whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. I don't have your email handy because we did this through the old email address that for reasons I do not have access to anymore. We would love to have you on, but we need to be able to coordinate this. So please, Blake, reach out to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com just so we can get that set up and see if you even accept the challenge. We also have TV's Gina Ippolito in the tournament, confirmed. Robert Clark Chan, will you join the summer tournament of Who Would Win Masters debates?
I work for scale.
That's a big yes, and we don't have to pay him. That's wonderful. I also have Matthew Dawson confirmed in and Delvin Cox confirmed in. That is 6 of 8 participants for this tournament. I need to know, did we talk about other people? Eric Heiding? Is Eric Heiding going to come out? I think he did a very good job. Maybe he'd be worthy. Jay Sandlin did a very good job when he came on the show from Who Would Win History. Who do you, the people, want to see as the last 2 spots? Let's lock this down. Tell us on the Patreon. Tell us in the Discord. Tell us on the threads, the Instagram. Maybe a first-round matchup needs to be Matthew Dawson versus Robert Clark Chan. As Matthew here in the chat says, he wants to squash the beef. I don't know if that's possible, Matthew. You really stepped out of line.
Yeah,
And you have a lot of work to do
Some apologies need to be
make
made.
it back in the heart of Robert Clark Chan. Robert Clark Chan, do you have any comments about this?
He knows what he did.
He knows
Wow.
what he did, ladies and gentlemen. He claims he doesn't, which is, I've learned in relationships, not the right tact to take.
Well, he can go back and listen to like the 4 minutes he missed at the beginning of this
It
show,
wasn't much.
and here just went on a scathing tirade, and it's mostly all covered there.
That's crazy. No, I this is the feud I think we need to see. I don't know if I could put my thumb on the scale, but this feels like a first-round matchup of the tournament. But I need to hear from you. Who deserves to come back? Who do you want to see? We've had the conversation. We are nailing it down here in the month of April. We're going to have this thing nailed down, and we're going to do a live on a future wrap-up episode, maybe the next one, maybe the one after. We're going to do a live, here as we do it, a drawing of matchups and characters. And we're going to do this on stream on a wrap-up episode, and then we're going to do all the logistics of making that happen as far as the tournament goes. So we need 2 more people. Who are we going to get? Who are we going to reach out to? Maybe people who've been on the show before. Maybe somebody who's never been on the show before. I don't know, but I'm excited to do it. I want to hear from you. This is going to lead us to the final moments of this episode, because I know we got to talk about what the next battle is going to be. And we have it here. The next battle for Who Would Win Masters, you will hear next week, is He-Man, the strongest man in the universe, versus the Ghost of Sparta, Kratos. We're going to be rematching from the previous iteration of the Who Would Win show, Kratos versus He-Man, starring and debating against Mr. Matthew Harris. Speaking of Reclaim Detroit, the voice of Alexander from Reclaim Detroit, Matthew Harris, He-Man versus Kratos. Chan, you have thoughts.
The most powerful man in the universe, not the strongest man in the universe, the most powerful man in the universe.
He's all of the above.
You get it right. It's not like you haven't heard the tagline. It should be embedded in your brain. And I'm very disappointed in you.
I think both work, quite honestly. He's known as the most powerful man in the universe, the strongest man in the universe. I'll go with it. I think he is the strongest man in the universe.
Really? Stronger than
do.
Superman?
Oh, stronger than Superman. He proved it.
Galaxies
He
and
proved
such
it.
behind
He
him.
proved he could beat Superman in a fight. We'll talk about this. We're not litigating it right now, Robert Clark Chan. We're talking about this next week.
I'm just saying, you got the words wrong. The words are what's important here.
I know you and your syntax, and I know you and your verbiage, and you know me. That's not important to me. Getting words right has never been a high priority for me.
That is right.
Yeah. We'll leave
Sam,
that to
what are your
Matthew
thoughts?
Harris. I'm excited to see how that goes. And it'll be cool to have Matthew Harris on a show with me yet again. That'll be our
Love the fact
our
we're getting him on.
Yeah, third project together. So that's very cool. Unless you gentlemen have any final thoughts, I am ready to close the book on this battle.
Well, Robert
Folks,
Clark Chan, where can the people find you? Throw some plugs out there. I know you love to do it.
He's a plugger.
It's your favorite.
There's, you can catch me this past afternoon over at Ray's house eating ham. If you want to go back in time, you could do that.
Do we have exclusive footage to put on the Patreon of that?
We do have special video of Robert Clark Chan eating ham at my house. Yes.
Yeah, I had to find a camera to eat it in front of. I can't do it any other way. I have to be on camera to eat
all the time.
There's a podcast called Knowing Is Half the Podcast.
Interesting.
Check that out. Pretty fun. There's another one called. Oh gosh, what is it called?
I think it's called AE Doubleback.
AE Doubleback.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with that. It's about wrestling.
Okay.
Oh, and we have a request here from chat. Can we hear one more email song before we go? The answer, sadly, is no. Again, my producers have told me that we've played it too many times already in this episode.
People demanded. All of us demanded.
Okay.
This is outrageous. I just don't think we can do it.
Let's hear from the community.
It's physically impossible. No, that's it. That's our show.
You've got a voice, you got something to say, and we're gonna read them, cause it's annoying to read.
Oh, I'm told that's all.
No, that's it. That's it. That's all. Yeah, it would cost us too much money if we continued at this point. Matthew Dawson says, this is why we buy the Patreon. That's right. If only two
Come join
more
us
paid
live.
members join, we can play it for 3 more words, actually, per episode.
Interesting.
There you go.
That's bold.
That is how music licensing works, I believe. All right. Thanks, gang, for hanging out with us. That's all for this battle. You can keep the debate going on the Discord. Find that link from our Patreon, and let us know if you have further thoughts on how this battle went. Patreon's where all of our official polls live and where you can support the show and unlock more access. But if you've got opinions, yeah, take it to the Discord arena, which you can find, again, pinned at patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, and help us unlock all of those milestones by joining up for free or paid. And if you think you've got what it takes to step into the challenger's chair, record a 1-minute video demo of yourself and send it to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. And if you're Blake Fulton, send us an email so we know if you're in for the tournament. And who knows, we might see you in the chair across from Ray in a future episode. I want to take a moment to thank all of our new Patreon followers. Michael S., AE Doubleback, oh, look at that. Deshaun D., Jordan A., and Sam 0909. And of course, a quick shout out to all of the awesome people who are supporting the show on Patreon. So thank you to Dylan G., Matthew Dawson, William Schmidt, Douglas R., Nate, Eric Hiding, Lord Moxford, Forbidden Mob, Lord Snurts, and Delvin Cox. We'll see you next time in the arena. Until then, stay strong.